What is good, YouTube? So I'm here to answer a couple of questions. Here, adjust the camera. Yeah, just like there we go. Okay, let's get the record straight. I don't throw fits when I'm at work. Okay, first of all. And second of all, when you smoke a pipe and you tap it out onto your hand's gonna get a little dirty. Okay? So when people see my hands all looking dirty and shit on YouTube, they fail to realize that, when you're smoking a pipe, you gotta tap the pipe out onto your hand and then into the ashtray or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of people were asking me, why did you smash your guitar? Well, I was watching a YouTube video on how to do this scale on the guitar. And the person trying to teach me this scale on YouTube was saying, and I quote, that, oh, this guitar scale is the bread and butter to every guitar player's arsenal or some shit like that. And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe this scale would be useful in my playing. But I tried my damnedest to learn it, and when I couldn't even get the first fucking note, I lost it. I got frustrated with my playing and I smashed my guitar. I focus on what I can't do on guitar versus what I can do. And instead of focusing on how far I've come as a guitar player, I spend more time focusing on what I can't do on guitar. Yeah. I got comments that were marked as spam on one of my videos, and I deleted them before they had the chance to make it on the video. Oh, and speaking of work, I'm actually doing some laundry right about now. Washing my work shirts and pants. That way I have a clean uniform for when I start work next. And speaking of work, YouTube, when I was at work yesterday, I made a pretty good impression, I think. We were pretty much busy all day when I was at work. And 2 o'clock came, it was time for me to clock out, but a bus full of high school chicks came in to eat, and I was more than happy to stay on and make a couple extra bucks, you know what I'm saying? And then when that bit of the lunch rush had died down completely, my manager asked me if I could stay and do a trash run. I said I'd be more than happy to, So I got to stay an hour late. That's what's up. I even got asked to change out the teas at work, you know what I'm saying? Because I literally, I walk out into the lobby and I noticed that the sweet tea was empty. So I ran back to the kitchen and I told my manager that the sweet tea was empty. And the very same manager that said I wasn't allowed to change out teas, she goes, well, can you change out the sweet tea? And I said, yeah, not a problem. She goes, all right, the sweet tea's in the walk-in. I'm like, all right, I got you. So I went in, I got to change the tea. I felt super important there, I'll tell you what. If I could be working at least 5 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm hoping that the impression was good enough that my hours will increase a little bit. I won't know my schedule till tomorrow. Even though the schedule comes out today, I can't call Wendy's because my phone doesn't work. I can text, but, you know, yeah. So tomorrow, I'll ride up to work with my uniform just in case I have to work that day. And I'll check the schedule, and if I have to work tomorrow, awesomeness, you know what I'm saying? One person asked me on Facebook, did you get a new guitar yet? And the answer is no. I haven't even taken my guitar to the shop yet. The one I painted up and stuff, so, yeah. But fear not, I have my acoustic guitar to play until I get an electric guitar working again, yeah. My biggest problem with guitar playing, though, is that I expect way too much from myself. You know, I'm never satisfied with what I have learned on guitar. But when I first started playing guitar, compared to now, I've definitely come a long way in my playing. But then there's people on YouTube who will sit there and say that I can't learn guitar and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm very capable of learning guitar. It just takes me a lot longer than a normal person. I went to see if the liquor shed could get me some crisscross black cherry pipe tobacco. It comes in a bag just like the 4 Aces. It's styled, and it's made out of the same material at least. And oh, look at that. Oh, I got pipe ash on my forehead. God damn it. There we go. Fixed it. And when I went to talk to them yesterday, they said that they could get it, but the only bag form they had was mint and regular. And then they said that that crisscross makes a cigarette. So they went and ordered some crisscross black cherry pipe tobacco cigarettes for me. And when I get me a carton, I'll do a review for you, of course, on my channel. So when people ask me why I smash my guitar, and the simplest answer I can give is I became frustrated with my playing. And I kind of wish I hadn't done it, but there's no turning back. You can't change the past, YouTube. There's a lot of things in the past I wish I wouldn't have done, A lot of things that I wished I wouldn't have done. Smashing my guitar, cheating on Stephanie, stalking girls in high school. A lot of things that I wish I wouldn't have done that I regret. That I instantly regret. But I can't change the past. The only thing I can do is learn from my mistakes. So, yeah. Oop. And Gross Misconduct Live has been wanting to have me on their show again for quite some time. And I always love going on their show. It's quite fun to be on there and talk with a bunch of people and, bullshit and what have you. But the only way I can actually get on Gross Misconduct Live is if my cell phone can make calls again. So I'll have to get a new phone eventually. And don't know when that's going to be, but, And this is an iPhone 3G. I've had this thing for fucking ever. So I'm going to go ahead and set my alarm so I can get up in the morning for 8:30. There we go. So if I go to work to check my schedule tomorrow and they say, well, you don't have to work today. Alright, cool. So then I'll ride down back to my apartment on my bike. And then what I'm going to do after that, once I get my bike back into my apartment, is... Oh, I forgot. Never mind. The Rockstar Music Store is closed on Mondays. I forget. Shit. But I do plan on taking my BC Rich Warlock that I have here and getting the amp jack fixed to start off with, and then getting this tightened up, and then I'll make note of my tuning knobs being loose. But yeah, I do eventually plan on getting this guitar fixed. I just have to, take it down to the shop when they're open. And, yeah. I would love to get a second pickup installed right here, and then get a cover for a whammy bar. But if the whammy bar is not possible, just a second pickup for double distortion. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. But yeah, I engraved it and everything. It's got, King Cobra right here, and then it's got the pentagram right there. Not too shabby of a job for engraving it. And this guitar looks pretty sick, if I do say so myself. So I noticed that the neck was a little wobbly, so I took the plate off to just one screw out of the 4 that are there. Took three of the screws out, and then I pushed the neck forward, and after I did that, I put the 3 screws back in, and then I tightened down all 4 screws, and now the neck is nice and even with the guitar. Yeah. And the green paint is recent on this guitar. This particular guitar I bought with my first job that I had. I had a paper out in North Dakota, and every Friday was the worst. Papers would be this fucking thick. and I had about 56 to 60 some odd papers to deliver. And I made a couple cents each paper. And I didn't get my paycheck every 2 weeks. I got my paycheck every month. And I seen this guitar on the internet, all black with the skulls and everything. And, you know, I was a kid at the time, junior high, you know what I'm saying. And I asked my dad if I could get it. And he goes, well, me and your mother are not going to buy you another instrument until you buy it yourself, because every instrument I buy or get, I would just quit, you know what I'm saying? And my parents were sick of it. They're like, we're not going to buy you another instrument until you stick with it. So if you want this guitar, you have to buy it yourself. I'm like, all right, fair enough. So I busted my ass on a paper route in nasty North Dakota winter weather. By the time springtime came around, I had enough money to order this guitar, and I paid $177.77 for it, plus $20 shipping and handling. Okay, and yeah, I bought this guitar, and it was my first electric guitar, and it's pretty sweet looking, you know. And then a couple days ago, I spray painted it. Yep. And I got a little bit of paint on the skull here, and I got a little bit of paint back here, and then I got a little bit of paint on the BC Rich logo right here. And how did I get the paint off? I took some lighter fluid and some toilet paper, and that took care of it. I got the paint off where I didn't want it, and this is a pretty cool looking guitar, if I do say so myself. Yep. I'll make mention that the tuning pegs are loose and all that. So eventually I'll be taking this guitar into the shop to get her fixed up and playable. I'm probably not going to add a whammy bar just because the neck right here is not designed for it. So when I take my guitar into the shop, what I'll do is I'll tell them what's wrong with it, and then ask if they can install a second pickup for double distortion and make it so I don't need to switch between the two. Just make it so it plays off of both pickups at the same time. And double distortion would be pretty sweet, but I don't know, YouTube. I might just have them fix the amp jack and tighten up the cover right here and the tuning pegs, and then be good with that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's probably going to cost me a lot more money than I have, and I just want the damn thing to play again. So I might just have them fix this thing, tighten this up, fix the amp jack, and then tighten the tuning pegs up. And then it'll be playable again, YouTube. And then I'll have a guitar that works. And then I'll be able to finish my 7th album. The last 2 songs I'll do with this guitar right here. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of my older YouTube viewers will recognize this guitar right here, before I customized it, of course. And I didn't do too bad customizing it, actually. I think it looks cool. Very cool indeed. And, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I guess, is I'll have the guitar shop tighten this down, fix the amp jack, and tighten up my my tuning pegs, and then she'll be good to go. I just realized I don't need double distortion when the pickup right here is very close to the strings. Got a text message. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to get this guitar working again, especially now that it's got this kick-ass customized job. And the skull guitar strap goes quite nicely with the graphics on this guitar. Yippers. In fact, while I'm waiting to get my electric guitar fixed, there's plenty of acoustic bits to learn, like Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Okay, back on the stand with you. You know how the Crazy Train bit sounds on acoustic. Well, if we go to YouTube, and guitar jams. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, easy acoustic guitar lesson, Marty Schwartz. Marty Schwartz is an awesome guitar teacher, yeah. For YouTube at least.
Hey, what's up? Marty here again. I've got one of the highest requested songs that I've received, and it's the acoustic solo to Wish You Were Here. I'm going to break it down for
I need something to drink, YouTube. That's what I need. I'll grab my alcohol from the fridge real quick. So, we're going to make this video have some point to it, which would be, you get to watch me try to learn this little riff right here. Yeah. So I'll be right back. This right here, YouTube, is R&R mixed with Jameson, mixed with Dr. K. Dr. K is basically genetic Dr. Pepper, and it has a little bit of Skittles in it. Yep. You can't spend the rest of your life hating yourself for your mistakes. I've tried, and it just makes me more miserable than I already am. Hoo-wee. Yeah, that's it. Now the R&R was about down to here, okay? And then I had an empty Mountain Dew bottle that a friend of mine, he poured some Jameson into the Mountain Dew bottle, and he dropped some Skittles into the Mountain Dew bottle. And then he waited until the Skittles were completely dissolved in the Jameson. And then I had some Jameson mixed with some Dr. K in another cup. And I topped it off with that Jameson Skittles mixture into that cup. And then I took that cup and I poured it into the bottle right here. Yep. How I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year. And when you're single and you have a hard time getting a girlfriend, you got to find some way to occupy your mind. Otherwise, you'll just sit around being depressed all goddamn day. And, yeah. And guitar playing is a great way to occupy your mind. That's also a great way to pick up the ladies. Watch out. Any girl will tell you that most girls dig guitar players. You know, that's just a given fact. Most girls will tell you they find guitar players sexy. That's just a given, YouTube. Well, musicians in general, you know. Especially brooding musicians like myself. Taking a swig of this potion. Did you say Jameson? Aye, that's Irish whiskey. And, yeah, adding the Dr. K to it, it softened the burn of the Jameson and the R&R. Adding a little bit of Skittles to it gave it a bit of a sweetness to it, as you could say. And how I got this bottle was my homeboy Scotty, you know, calls me and says, "Hey man, you should come over." Alright. I head over to my homeboy Scotty's, and my other friend Joe is drunk, and when my friend Joe drinks, he acts a fool, to put it in simplest terms. And Scotty's mom Mildred was like, "Here," and she just gave me the rest of his bottle. And then Scotty had already poured me a drink and what have you, and yeah, Scotty mixed up some Skittles in the Jameson in an empty Mountain Dew bottle. And then I poured all that into this bottle here, and it's quite tasty. Ooh. But I didn't soften the burn to the point where you couldn't taste it. There's definitely a burn to it, but it's not like, you know what I'm saying? And this Fender T-Bucket, that's my acoustic guitar right there. It has a built-in tuner and it has an amp jack, but the built-in tuner and the amp jack don't work. So, fuck it. It's a guitar that I can play. And I couldn't bring myself to smash any of these guitars right here, you know. I mean, if they can get a cover for the strings that holds the whammy bar, it might be physically possible. I don't know. But I'd rather just, you know, get the amp jack working on that one at least to start off with. And then, yeah, I'll need another pickup for distortion. Just where the pickup sits right now, it's literally about this far from the strings, so the distortion on it is super thick. So there really is no need for another pickup. It's just extra money.
Phrase by phrase, okay? And I will be very patient with you. So let's take it nice and slow, phrase for phrase, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Ready? Here we go. Okay.
Okay, so it says easy acoustic guitar lesson. That sounds right up my alley, YouTube. You know, I've seen some very attractive guitar players on YouTube. Like, I'm not shitting you. I've seen some, oh my god, female guitar players on YouTube. Oh, and they play 10,000 times better than I do. I'm not jealous. Far from it. That's a turn on, actually. I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, I never really focus on how far I've come at my guitar playing. I'm more focused on what I can't do on guitar. And then I beat myself up for it. And then I try to learn the guitar that I can't play. And when I can't learn it, I become frustrated. You know, so it's a wonder I've come as far as I have on guitar playing. For those of you who have followed me since the Gothic King Cobra 52 account that I had on YouTube. Rich and rare. The dryer in the apartment complex I live in, if you load that fucker too full, it's going to take you a couple dollars in quarters to dry your clothing, you know. Well, that's quite alright as long as my clothes get dry, you know. My uniform will be nice and clean for work. That's what's up. I try to wash my uniform at least every week, you know what I'm saying? I have 3 or 4, maybe 5 pairs of work pants, and when I've worn them all in the course of 5 days or so, I try to do laundry, you know what I'm saying? And my uniform doesn't stink, but if I don't wash it after a week of working, then it tends to, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, so it makes customers happier, and especially your coworkers, that they're not going, oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, I made a pretty good impression at work, like I said yesterday. About time to clock out, and then a bus full of hungry high school chicks came in, and I ended up staying an hour late to help out. And I was even allowed to change out one of the T-urns in lobby. So, yeah. And I was pretty stoked about that, you know. I felt like I made a good impression at work yesterday, you know. This next shot, YouTube. Here's to me winning the lottery, hitting it big. Yep. Ooh, doggies. Alright, let's set the alcohol down for a minute, and I want to watch this video on how to play some guitar.
Phrase number 1. Okay, that's the phrase. Here we go. We're going to take, I'm going to use my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and I'm going to pick it and slide it up a whole step.
So it looks like he's on the 3rd string, on the 3rd highest. Like that, yeah.
1st finger on the 3rd fret of the B string.
Okay, so the first 3 notes we got.
Like that. Then ring finger on the 5th fret of the B string to my middle finger on the 4th fret of the G string to my 1st finger on the 3rd fret back on the B string, like this. Check. Check it out. One more time. Okay, next part. Ring finger, 4th fret of the G string. My 1st finger is going to be planted back on the 2nd fret of the G string. I'm going to pick it once, pull off, all with one pick. Like that. Check it out. With one pick. And if you kind of pull it down a little bit, it'll help them ring out. Then the open D string. So here's what we have so far.
Okay, let's see if I can play that, YouTube. Well, I plucked the wrong string on the end there. try that again. Oops. There's something oddly salty and exotic and oddly romantic to describe the sound of an acoustic guitar.
Ooh, that last thing, okay? Take my middle finger, and I'm going to slide it from the first fret to the second fret on the A string, and then the open D string twice. Here's the end of phrase number 1.
Okay, phrase 1. Phrase 1 of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. So, yeah, I'll work on learning that, I guess, while I wait for the money to come around to repair my electric guitar.
Open D string twice. Here's the end of phrase number 1.
So yeah, pretty much self-explanatory right there. This isn't how you hold your guitar. You want to like that. But if you want to get the girls with your guitar playing, you have to be somewhat decent at it. You know what I'm saying? YouTube. Yeah. Like, you're not going to get the girls being like, hey, look what I can play a guitar. They're like, what the fuck was that? See, I love messing up on the guitar. It's so much fucking fun. I fucking love it, YouTube. I fucking love it. But, yeah, it's gonna take me a while to learn this little acoustic riff. I got the opening of it, it looks like.
All right, let's learn phrase number 2. Okay, so we're going to take our first finger on the high E and the B string on the 3rd fret. I'm going to pick it once and slide it up a whole step.
Not even close.
And then back down.
Oh God, that sounds way out of tune.
Okay, then my first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string and my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And I'm going to do the same move, a whole step slide up and back. And then open on that. At least the G string, but you can hit the G and the B, it's alright.
Well, I think that's a good place to stop for the lesson today. I don't want to overdo it on the lesson a bit. But at least I'm able to find the notes with this one a lot easier. Well, let's progress at least. Fuck, how do I manage to do it? Try to keep my videos underneath an hour long, and it's just like, nope. Ugh. And, you know, in some of my videos, my hands look dirty, but they're not, okay? Freaking smoking a tobacco pipe, you have to tamp the pipe out and then dump the ashes on your hands and then put them in the ashtray. You know, if you get pipe ash all over your hands, of course they're going to be dirty. Yeah. Suppose I'll take another shot. Alright, back into the fridge with you, you devilish bastard. Of course, compared to my 3-hour long video, this ain't shit. until then, this here is KingCobraJFS with another video. Thank you all for watching, and catch y'all later.